I mean, I can confirm the Bengals did just win, so there's much rejoicing in my household.
Hey, Savage.
Hey, what, JB?
What did the cold pirate lumberjack say?
Um, Cold Pirate Lumberjack?
Shiver me timbers! All right, let's get into it here. Our main event of our Saturday stream. Uh,
Floyd's biggest fan burning it up in the
and
chat.
it sounds like Mr. Octagon has cracked some. Our team is good at football juice. Um, wow, our audience dropped by half. Yeah, that's what happens when we have the puns. Anyways, all right, folks, let's get into it here. Let's get ready for both of our players before this just gets completely and utterly out of control.
All right, we've got
a
a ready from Floyd. We need a ready from John. Aw, Floyd getting some support from his biggest fan.
Aww.
And John's ready as well.
And thank you for the follow, Burb Wizard. That's a magical name. All right, let's get to it. It is time to fire off those viruses because it is the main event. One of these players will be going to the semifinals. The other will walk away with 2 championship points. And looking at these boards, Savage, double friendly on both, but I'm seeing a massive staircase on the right. Yellow viruses for John, and a bit of a gap on that left side for Floyd.
Yeah, I mean, but the play at the beginning of this was really great for John. He was just taking things down left and right. He is going to have to prioritize that yellow, especially given the staircase on the right, but then he's also got a red staircase on the left, so we'll see how he deals with this.
And it seems like he's just trying to play, very, very particularly here. It is a lead right now for John Nash by about 7 viruses. Floyd waiting for that red or blue yellow, and he does finally get it. He's trying to work on that right side at the moment, down to 15 viruses, and it looks like a cluster of viruses on that bottom left quadrant for John. Looks like he's going to go horizontally, and looks like he's going to open up those reds with that double yellow.
So really all he needs are those reds. Floyd's in a little bit tougher of a spot. He needs a lot of yellow and blue before he can get down to the reds at the bottom. So he might be trying to plan a horizontal, but he's got to just throw away a lot of blue right now.
And I think Floyd might deliberately be wanting to get that double horizontal. He's had opportunities to stack some red and go vertically, but he's got his plan and he's sticking to it at the moment. But John Nash already out at about a minute 40.
Yeah, finally those reds cooperated after a lot of blue-yellow, and he's ready to attack this very blue-red heavy board, although he has just opened up some yellow. Wow.
Floyd is very much in danger of a top out, and it looks like he's forcing himself to play that vertically. There's just really no other way here, otherwise he is in severe top out danger. And you do not. Oh, and he does top out on it. Oh no! And he's
wow.
Gonna start over. That's
has to go back to the beginning. That is going to give John a lot of time to work. Now, one thing that you do notice is at the top, Floyd did have 3 blues in a row, and if he had manages to spin just at the right time, I think he might have been able to clear all those blues on the top. But I think it's very dangerous, so he did top out.
Yeah, it all comes down to when you sometimes you do have a plan and you do see it and the RNG is not cooperating. There's a point where you do have to cut your losses and just try to clear things hard way, and that may involve the combos you want not being a factor. And we saw what happens there. Not to rub it in on Floyd because Floyd's a great player, but sometimes that stuff just happens.
Yeah, definitely. And also, John is playing spectacularly. Look at this, already down to his end game, has a nice horizontal open, out at a 313. And keep in mind, this is what some people were out of, like 6-7
Yeah,
Yeah, just like 6 and 7, right? So it's really great.
you're seeing John just playing out of his mind right now. I don't know if he knows the situation that Floyd is in, but he is playing very, very well right now. Down to 34 viruses here. He is halfway through his level block. So now on to that second half. We'll see how Floyd does here. Floyd down to 4 viruses, still on 8 here. Really rough going. And again, here comes the bad RNG. He's having to stack up yet again. And it looks like he's going to be able to get out of this situation, but Floyd very, very much behind the 8 ball Savage.
Yeah, definitely. He is, John is already halfway through level 10. And the thing is that Floyd did take down that level pretty quickly, pretty calmly, but he's just in a really rough spot. John needs lots of blue and lots of yellow to keep going. And this blue-yellow will make a really nice combo there to clear out the middle of his board. Meanwhile, Floyd's got a lot of red going on the top of his board. He has a nice combo in columns 5 and 6. And so basically he's just chopping this down bit by bit, and he's getting low drop clears, which is just what he wants to have. Taking a little more drop time there, but looking probably to go vertically on these blues in the center. Now has to tackle a lot of reds up high. Meanwhile, John already into level 11 at about a 503.
Yeah, John had some fantastic RNG to clear things out here. He is very much in cruise control at the moment. He does not need to play really any sort of aggressively. He just needs to get to the end with no mistakes, and no catastrophic mistakes, and he's gonna take game 1. It's very unfortunate. You don't like seeing top outs, especially in the first level with 1 virus to go. That's just a special kind of pain that I'm sure we've all felt playing this game for the first time, where we just weren't able to get the job done. And it's in our chat's hurting for him too. And Dimwit pointing out that in our chat that this is a great time for John, easily winning time even if Floyd didn't top out.
Exactly. This is a really fantastic game. So, even if the top out did happen, I think John might have been really competitive anyway, if not winning this one. Currently, he's a little spired. John is a little spired with red. Notice he's got some 3 red stacks and not a lot of place to tuck those blue yellows. It looks like he's trying to go for an underclear. Meanwhile, Floyd making a great combo, but has sandwiched himself a little bit with that yellow on top of column 1.
And, excuse me. Just 10 viruses to go here for John. John, again, just putting together a blisteringly good time. He is now down to his final 7, and with his lineup here at Savage, it looks like he could be flirting with a good milestone here.
Yeah, definitely. Just needs one more red, and he is going to get it. Look at this.
He's going to get a
hot
sub
time.
7. Wow.
Look at that. Wow. That is a 6:59. You can tell how excited he is. That is the 13th best time, tied with Watchma in August of 21. John should be incredibly proud of that. That was fantastic play on his part. Unfortunate top out from Floyd, but I mean, you got to give the win to John anyway.
Well, that's 6:59. That's welcome to the sub 7 club here in round 2, John. You see, you win one championship bracket, and suddenly you're posting good times in the later rounds in the top 16. But it is 1-0 for John Nash here, as we get this crown on his side, and we get game 2 going here. Floyd's saying so much for my clear rate. Very, very brutal. And unfortunately, that sign's going to have to stay at 000s. But a lot of time to recover here for Floyd. It's one game, and he can come back. Floyd's one of our best players, and John's showing he can be just as competitive with the best. And that is a PB. Yeah, all you got to do is PB. That's all you got to do.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, that's if you are going to have a game with a top out, like Floyd did, you want your opponent to have their really good game. And I don't mean that John's only going to have one, but like that is a game for the ages. So that it's pretty fantastic. JB mentioned clear rate, which means the number of seconds it takes to clear a virus on average. And so great clear rates are under 2 seconds per virus as the
three
players
seconds.
get started.
3 seconds.
Oh, sorry, under 3. Sorry,
under 2 seconds, and we're gonna have to check you for performance-enhancing drugs.
Whoops, numbers.
Math is hard. We've got a good start here for both players. Not very double friendly on both sides. And a bit scattered, but we're seeing these players make things work. Minimal drop there from Floyd. He's at 25 viruses, trying to lower that average top line. John's got a little bit of a barge up on the top. You see him. You just saw him split that in half. And it's so important to try to keep that top line down. But as you'll see, players might keep a straggler up there, and that's just for ease of end game.
Yeah, and he's probably going to take care of that yellow last unless he gets a double yellow, because it's not really blocking things right now for John. But currently he's got 11 viruses, doing a really nice job. When he was prioritizing, he was looking for clears down far in the level and just getting a lot of stuff going.
And Floyd's starting to chug along here. He just is now out of blue, so he's going to have to be a bit creative. But he is getting some favorable RNG at the moment, and is down to half a dozen viruses. John also down to his last half dozen, has a bit more diversity on his board. 2 yellows, 2 blues, or 2 yellows, 1 blue, and 2 reds. But it is going to be very close here. Floyd setting up for a minimal drop time here. Ooh, might get the triple with that double red, and he takes it. John Nash going to get a combo himself. He's down to 1. Both players down to their final virus here. And Floyd out first at 1:52, but John behind by 2 seconds going into level 9.
Yeah, that was just fantastic. Both players on their final red in roughly the same position. I mean, these two are really well matched tonight. A really nice start with a combo from Floyd, keeping his board really even. Notice how many doubles are on Floyd's board, but they are all horizontal. So I'm liking the shape of John's a little bit more because it's a little more open at the moment.
And he's going to have some really good double opportunities right there, as we just saw John take a double off the board. He's down to 23, Floyd at 28. Floyd is really clustered on that left side, which it looks like he might be taking to his advantage here. He would love a double yellow, but he's just going to drop down and get the triple with that drop cross. 21-16 here as we cross 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, and you just saw John make a decision. He's gotten a double blue, and he did have the opportunity to clear it out on the right-hand side, but it would have caused a bunch of garbage. So he's making these quick decisions here. Needs some blue-red, I would say, to clear out columns 7 and 6.
I would agree with that. Some red would really be helpful. Meanwhile, Floyd down to his last 10 viruses, looking to open up, possibly going horizontal. And he is, I thought maybe he might go for that double across row 1. It doesn't look like that's the case here. He's down to 5, but John out first at a 329. So these players going back and forth, exchanging leads. Ooh, and a misdrop from Floyd, and you could see he kind of hesitated there, realized what he did. Oh, brutal for Floyd.
That's going to be tough, and he does not have the opportunity to take care of that blue horizontally or the red at the bottom, so he is going to be going vertical. And again, that's kind of an archaeological dig right there.
And a dangerous board. He manages to put that stack down, but an absolutely crushing misdrop there. And he'll get that double red to mercifully get him out, but very much behind the 8 ball here, but only 10 viruses behind.
Right. And John's board also, not a lot of diversity, has a ton of yellow. So he's going to need to be creative with what other things he gets. Notice he only has 3 blue viruses left on his board. So he could be in for a long struggle if he gets a lot of blue pill halves.
The left side of just seeing the left side of John's board infuriates me. Just so many yellows, and they're so scattered. vertically that it's just going to be tough. But Floyd is managing to get some things going here. It is a 12 virus lead for John Nash, but Floyd really starting to play aggressively here. And Floyd usually plays a little bit more deliberate, so but when you play aggressive, there's always that chance for a misdrop. So we'll see what Floyd does here. But so far, Floyd steaming back here has cut the lead to half a dozen and is going to continue to chip into that lead as he is about to set up for a couple of very nice combos here. Now has a very clean board and will get this quad. He'll be down to 14, so he's narrowing this lead down to 4.
Yeah, and John is struggling with figuring out what to do with red and blue, which he keeps getting, and he really probably wants to be able to deal with that yellow. Clears out those blues on the bottom horizontally, so has a free and clear space for that red, but still, he needs some yellow, and he needs it now.
He sure does, and Floyd down to his last 2, John down to 3. John really dependent right now on a red-yellow, but it looks like he has cut that off. Floyd's going to be out at 6 flat, and John just needs a couple here, but Floyd in the lead going into the final level. Floyd fighting for his championship life. John right behind him, though, 45-48 here as we get into this final game round in game number 2.
Yeah, and so I'm so excited. Anyway, look at this nice combo from John, dropping vertically, horizontally. There's not a ton of diversity. Look at all this blue-yellow, but managing to really make it work. Meanwhile, Floyd's got a really even board, nice combos possibilities in the center. Now he's working on one on the left-hand side. The only piece of garbage is this yellow on top of the blue in column 7, which he might be able to tackle horizontally if he builds up from this platform in column 5. So we'll see what he does with that. Meanwhile, John drops those yellows in column 7 to clear the garbage in column 8. And it is a 1 virus game at the moment. So look at John just steamrolling this level. This has been fantastic RNG for him. Look at him dropping down into a combo to clear some of the bottom of the first row. This red-blue is going to be fantastic for John. Look at that giant clear. This is just really amazing because Floyd's playing this level quite well, but just everything is falling in John's favor right now.
Absolutely. We have breaking news, and we'll talk about that in a second. But right now, it looks like John Nash might be pulling this upset off. He just needs that last red, and he's out at a 751, and he has upset the 2-seed Floyd, and he will be going on to semifinals Sunday.
I don't know. Yes, he's just seen what's happened. Crowd loves an upset. He played the games of his life. I mean, those were utterly fantastic.
And there it is, the second crown. All right, we've had a bit of breaking news. Watchma just showed up in the chat. However, I had already made plans, and I have people waiting for me. So what we're going to do is, if Dimwit's cool with it, we're going to have their round 2 match tomorrow, and then we'll go into semifinal Sunday. But it looks like Watchma has undropped. So we'll get that squared away here offline. But that's all we have for you today. A big win for John Nash. He'll go on to the semifinals. He is going to face Packy. So your semifinalists here: Influx, Dimwit, or potentially Dimwit, Influx, the winner of Watchma and Dimwit, Packy, and John Nash. That's who we've got going into Sunday. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take you over to our pals over at Monthly Tetris. And thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Enjoy our outro theme, and we'll see you tomorrow.